romanticizing Walter White, all of the discourse around Carol and the public reception of this character, people are beginning to use Walter White as an example, stating that the conversation around Walter White was completely different, and had she been played by a white male character, we wouldn't be talking about him being unlikable. Personally, I find that critique unfair for a number of reasons. The biggest one being that when Breaking Bad was out, TikTok was not a thing. There were no influencers, including myself, starting conversations around TV shows. What we were going off of was Twitter and Reddit, two forums that historically house the unwashed. Now, I do admit that it shaped the narrative around TV shows for a long time because there weren't places for people like me to talk. Still doesn't mean that that was the public perception of the character. Because let's be clear, Walter White was unlikable and made decisions that frustrated the audience back in season 1. I can say, at least within the groups that I ran around, we all also did not like Walter. I will say casting Bryan Cranston fresh off of Malcolm in the Middle did do a lot of legwork, especially with us perceiving Walter as like this sweet suburban man, cancer who needs help. Walter White sucked from the beginning. It didn't deal him a set of terrible cards that put him in a position where he needed to sell meth to help pay for his cancer treatment. He put himself in that position. I did not like Walter White from the moment that I saw him reject the payment for his cancer treatment. Walt's recruitment of Jesse was also very predatory. And the only reason why I give him a little slack on that is because Jesse would have been dead or in jail within 6 months if they hadn't met. That still doesn't excuse the behavior we see with Walt. Walt is prideful, manipulative, and not as smart as he thinks. Like, he's excellent at chemistry, but every step of the way he makes a wrong move. Down to him not continuing that business that made his friends millionaires. Like, all around, he's a terrible businessman that fails upward. That's why his speech to Skyler when he's like, "I'm the one that knocks," is actually hilarious, because earlier that day he unknowingly escaped an assassination. Walter is comically blind to the amount of danger he's in. Makes him feel like that girl, but in truth, he's just lucky. Landscape of television talk right now, if Breaking Bad premiered today, every single person would be talking about how terrible Walter White is, except for a certain group, and why are you listening to them anyway? If I'm being honest, most of y'all wouldn't even like Breaking Bad if it came out right now. Y'all would say it was too slow. So it's my distinct honor to say that Walter White was an unlikable character from the first season, who devolved into a heinous human being. I mean, what were your thoughts on Walter White? Let me know in my comments below.